Kia ora.
Ai, he mahi ki iki no.
E tino pohe pohe.
Ka po tatsu tatsu.
Tohene ne
To piroiroi, taki noho, taki tū. Whakarongo, wahangu. Tamaiti hianga, tamaiti haututu e. Ko taku taumata tonu kōrunga, ko tapu are ki mārama hei titiru i te ao karere mai. Ka tika wemihi anō kia koutou, te mata meninga i whakarongo mai nā, kei wiwi, kei wāwā, kei tēnā rohinga, nō ku te māringa nui, nō kua nō te whiwhi, nō maua tahi te whiwhi, ko Tavon tēnei.
Ko tere moana tēnei.
E whakarongo ana koutou ki te rangatahi takeover. Huu! E te iwi. Nau mai hoki mai ki tētihi episode tino hou. It's been a while, e te iwi. It's been a long while, in fact. Anyways, ka tāhuri atu tātou ki tō tātou kaupapa e whai haere ana. Ko te whakatauki o tērā, he nui ngā kai kei runga i a moi hau me he tangata koe whai mai. There is an abundance of kai upon our secret maunga moi hau. If you are a person willing to take it, then grasp onto it. So what do you reckon that is?
I think this is a whakatauki. Whānau, backstory. This whakatauki comes from Aotearoa. Parehauraki. Tēnei. He nui ngā kai kei runga i a moi hau me he tangata koe whai mai. So to me, this whakatauki means that if you are willing to seek, I guess, your dreams, all that stuff, then you will reach that till you get to the peak. All of it's there, whānau, so get your whikoe on, eh?
Well, ngā kai doesn't necessarily like actual kai. It's more so what are you willing to climb your mountains? The mountains, metaphorically speaking, trials and errors, metaphorically speaking, somewhat your whakaaro on what your kai could look like, could possibly your dreams and aspirations, your doctorate, your mātauranga, could possibly even actually kai. Like, it's kei a koe te mana. So it's a metaphor, but all proverbs have a deeper meaning to what it actually means. It's only the tip of the iceberg. But this is our whakatauki o te rā, because we're actually going to ruku hohonu ki ngā kaupapa kua tahake nei, which is getting back into the normality and balance of kura. And also seeing a lot of our metes maumoko.
We've got
it's
that
actually been a big kaupapa
on
our Rangatahi takeover. I'd love to get a top kai tā in here one day. That'd be pretty cool. He oi anō, ka tāhuri atu tātou ki me kore o tahi taua. It's been a while,
it's been a while.
How have you been?
I've been good. You know, last week we did an episode with the bro over there.
Oh yes, this is our new producer. How are we, bro?
Yeah, how are we?
I'm doing great after the weekend, bro. Seeing the Warriors with another loss.
It's a lifestyle being a Warriors support fan, whānau. It is a lifestyle.
We had to talk about that earlier, whānau.
But ka tika me mihi anō kia koe, Jack. For those who may not know, I was actually not here last week.
Where was you?
So
Tell me,
I was having a MDO. I was having some Māori days off, and on the Thursday, I had gone down the line to my other whānau in the Kāhui Maunga, and I went over to the Aotea Regionals. I was originally wanting to go over and help the Papaho, the radio stations, do some broadcasting, but that didn't work out. So I was going with my family to the marae where the kapaka was staying in. We did a bit of mahi there, and then we went over to a motel. We went over to the motel. But crack up, because the week before you weren't even here.
I wasn't even here, whānau.
You were Māwiwi, girl?
Kyle was Māwiwi. Was helping the whānau, as always.
But so this has actually been the first time we've caught up in a while.
Like on this.
Well, the weekend have just gone. We've actually had a quite mean weekend. We caught up. It was mean.
It was a good week.
Yeah, absolutely.
This week,
So, what have you been up to? Like, well, how was Monday? What did you guys talk about on Monday? Just quick recap.
We talked about Kia Rahi.
Oh, cool.
Like
how did you go
things.
in Kia Rahi?
Well, we did pretty good, whānau. We only had like 1 day of practice and we were fit to go.
Oh, my man.
Man.
Because could have been pretty hectic, eh? Yeah, kia ora. So,
but we did pretty good.
Yeah, and saying that we're getting back into the groove of going back to Kura after like, well, actually funny because yesterday, it was yesterday or a day before that, or a couple of days before that, it was the 1 month of our first episode.
Yep.
It was basically around 1 month of our first episode and of our uncle who has gained his wings in kei ngā Rangatahi anō. So this has actually been, it's our 1 month anniversary, I guess.
It's our 1 month.
Found it. So it's been pretty good. We're just, whakanuia, all right. But so obviously these episodes have yet to come out, eh?
Yep.
But these will definitely come out as soon as.
Yeah, as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
She's got things to go through.
Yeah. But besides that, pai.
Yeah, pai. Even the kōrero we have, tino pai.
Yeah. So in saying that, that is our me kōrero taitaua, ka tāhuri atu ki tō tātou kaupapa anō. Aroa mai whānau our
We
laptop
got some
just went flat.
technical difficulties.
Yeah, kia ora. So, yes. So, tēnei kaupapa, he mau Māori mā. So, ka tāhuri atu ki tō tātou whanaunga kei Manaia. And that is Miss Hennessy.
Yeah.
So, Miss Hennessy is a whanaunga of ours who has just
Shout out to you, girl.
whiwhi
Shout
i
out to you.
tāna mau moko kauai, i tōna kauai. So, ka tika me mihi anō kia koe e no ane i o whānau e whakanui a koe anō. But what do you reckon? Okay, because I have my own whakaaro.
Yeah.
You have your own whakaaro.
Yeah.
And what do you think?
I think I love it. Actually,
Yeah,
I love it. It's
hard.
cool to see, especially for rangatahi. Like, it's not seen as much, I guess, in the young,
Yeah.
and that
yeah.
reanga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm happy for her. Like, that's a big step. And it's a big whakātiranga for te iwi Māori.
Yeah.
How
Or te iwi o hauraki too.
Yeah, and even for our own
Yeah,
iwi.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think back to when I first seen the youngest girl I ever seen, Mo Moko, was at Pauru College. And her name was we actually worked with her Hauma.
Yeah.
And she was she actually did a mokopapa over at the Te Pae Hauraki as well.
Yeah.
So that was a big step for us as Pare Hauraki to see that amongst our younger generation e mau moko ana. Because tētai te ki te tērā, like ia rā. Like I look back right now and I can count on my fingers how many moko kauai and mataora I see here in Pairo.
Yeah, I can
So
count too.
imagine it being outside.
Yeah.
When you think about it. And going back to 2 weeks ago, me and Deha was actually having a conversation on how about how I would like to whiwhi my mataora on my 21st. And we were just talking to the bro Jack and he was saying how he wanted to get his mataora on his 25th. Hey bro.
Yeah, brother. Been a big journey for me, like come to terms with getting it.
Yeah.
Trying to talk my mum into getting it.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother journey in itself.
Keep
So,
trying.
yeah, I'm getting there. I'm cracking it.
Well,
Keep
that's good
going.
because now that that's 21, 25th. Going back to Rangatahi, I see there was a guy, like te kaumaono ana pakeke e mau mataora ana ia. He's 16 and he started to wear his mataora. He was from Maniapoto, I think, and I think he was also brought up around Tauranga Moana at Mauao, taku whakawhai. And he was talking about you don't need to, even that's a big conversation in itself, you don't need to speak te reo Māori in order for you to have your mataora. I agree.
Yeah.
However, mōku ake, I feel like you have to find a reasoning behind your, not just because it's your birthright, because
it could be also giving back to your hapori.
Yeah,
Or even
like
to your iwi.
ko te amorangi ki mua, ko te hāpai o ki muri. So my take is I'm a first generational speaker.
Yeah.
In our family, in both families, I'm a first generation speaker. Myself, my two younger siblings are the very first to have revitalised te reo Māori.
Yeah.
And that is my giving back to my iwi, to my hapori, and it's just bringing my mataora out on the outside.
Yeah, hard.
Bringing my reo āwahora, and and then you look at my uncle, he doesn't know reo. My uncle, and my dad's, they don't know reo, but my dad's giving back is to the game of league.
Yeah, they
It is
found their ways.
Yeah, that is their way of giving back. My uncle, he's been a kai gatherer since way back.
Yeah.
My uncle Koza, he's been digging the graves for the two Papaku. And then we even have our Uncle Hayden come all the way from Australia. He's coming back on his whakapapa journey as well.
Yep.
So that's a lot of generational, not trauma, but I guess a generational skip there that is getting cut down.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And that's what I like to see as a rangatahi. Because would you ever get your moko kaua? I think we've had this conversation.
I would, but later on in life. No, not yet. Because I don't think. I wouldn't say I'm ready, but just nah.
You're waiting for your time, waiting for your right
I'm waiting
time.
for my own time.
But
and
what do you think? Do you
time.
have to speak te reo, or is it just the birthright? You can get it whenever you want, or hea o whakaaro?
I reckon it's like highly up to that person and their whānau. Like always permission from your whānau. That's probably the main thing with moko and mataora and stuff. Yeah, all that.
Because I've seen it became kind of a bit of a trend these past couple of years. It's not mataora, but tāmoko. But then we were talking to our teacher and they said, well, because...
they said that, so we were talking about it to our teacher, and he reckons that our tāmoko don't belong on our ringa or on the rest of our tinana, only puoro, mataora and moko kauai.
And mataora and moko kauai back in the days was a sign of you are a tohunga, you are a rangatira. And we look back into our photos, like you got Taraya who sits at Te Pao Hauraki on the right side, and he has a full face mataora, and he doesn't have any tāmoko, which I kind of agree. Yeah, I kind of agree to an extent, but then again, we have to come to the realization it's all about revitalizing our practices again. And he was talking about a certain person, how they did it the wrong way, and not to go under the the ink, but to go back to back to the whiua. I think he called it back to the So that would have been pretty hard to, but I understand where he's coming from because he came from old traditions. And because Ngāti Haua, they do not believe.
They don't believe in mataora. Oh, they don't believe in tāmoko. On your kiri. On the kiri.
And they don't believe in mataora or moko kauai because of Wiremi Tamihana. Wiremi Tamihana. It's from the Bible,
They say that your reo and your mātauranga and stuff come from your manawa.
Inside, So it's a whakaaro. He whakaaro pai tērā. And there's still a lot of wānanga, but I looked to this TikTok that I just recently watched, and they always talk about how people use their mataora journey as a way of gaining clout, I guess, and influence. And they said, however, they make it out as if their way is the only way. You know what I mean? But he was talking about how every time they go to wānanga as a mahi whakairo rātauma, they always change the narrative of why we should get a moko. So it's forever ongoing. Same as te ao hurihuri nei. Like, you can't just say this when reality is there's much more to it. That's what it was basically saying. And I looked at Hennessy and I was like, wow. It looks beautiful on you too.
Yeah, it does.
I look at Reha who got his at 21 and that looks mean. And it takes courage because that stays on you forever. It hei hoa haere mōu. It is basically your friend to the very end. Like
it's
literally.
like a stepping stone for you as well.
And it's big. It's big. And I'm glad to see it amongst our rangatahi now because, wow.
That's a lot of mana you're carrying.
Go back to 2015, the only person I remember wearing a moko kauai was Nana Chrissy. Since way back. Way back. And then it went Nana Mum. Then Nana Colleen. And now I see Matua Hamu's sister now is Mau Moko ana. And Matua Darby was the only one I seen with a mataora around. So mihi to you as our pakeke.
For having that.
And because, but that's a topic in its own. Talking about rangatahi, we're obviously going back into school now. So how is that? How is that for us? Because we're
the amorangi's whānau.
Oh yeah,
it's like
it's not. It's
hard, but then it's not.
I feel like I'm undeserving of it in a way.
Same.
In the sense of it's not that I don't want it, but it feels like I shouldn't have it.
Yeah.
Because te wharikura o te rau aroha, their mātauranga and their maro is strictly under the teaching of Ngāti Haua.
Yeah, under their iwi.
Yeah, so and Amorangi is like a head boy, head girl, prefect and stuff.
Yeah, all
for
the
those of you
head
who may not know what that
students.
is. I got head student and you got deputy,
Yeah.
And I feel as though I shouldn't be deserving of this role because that isn't my iwi. Under Te Aho Matua, as you leave, you don't become just a graduate, but you also become a araukura. Araukura is a person that goes back to their iwi, that goes back and nurtures their iwi to become better.
Yep, and give back.
To give back, that is a raukura. Wow, a simple sum up
way,
of what a raukura is, but to be a raukura of your iwi, you should be from that iwi. We're merely there for the kura for the matauranga, for te reo Māori anake. E hara i ngā āhuatanga o Ngāti Haua because we're not from Ngāti Haua. We have hononga there, but we are not from there. We are grounded here. So to be an Amorangi, I feel as though that I took a vital part of their iwi. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think we are what they need for them.
Yeah.
Man, it's very...
He ua.
Yeah.
It's he ua.
E re ke hoki.
Yeah. And to see a different environment, I guess, because we came from a school that everyone was our aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
From going to a school from not being outcasts, but being strangers.
Yeah.
You know, setting foot into a different rohe without actually knowing that
their ways and how they do things.
Yeah, or how they run things.
Yeah.
We don't step on people's toes or anything, if that's what you're thinking, but it's more so just different. Different being from a village child to going to someone else's village.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it's hard,
Yeah.
It's hard because you don't know where you stand. And especially with Amorangi, you can say that Amorangi is just a title.
Yeah, it's just a title.
He tuakana tonu koe. You're just a tuakana, but going to the hierarchy chart and what a school is there. So when I look at a hierarchy chart, I look at like you have the OGs. And the OGs, they're the ones that run it. And the oldest OGs, they're like on top of the food chain.
And they know the goes.
Yeah, like they've been
ins
there.
and outs.
So they are the kids. Those are the village kids.
Yeah.
And then below them is the newcomers, the new people from outside of the newcomers being people that are from their iwi, but they're new to the school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then below them would be the people who come out of the rohe and stepping into their territory. It's he uaua, he tino uaua. And te kite I taua mea. It's not being an outcast, but it's a bit of a lonely feeling, I guess. They always include us in their mahis, and they always try to include us.
They try,
but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah,
that's all. Like it's no takahi kirunga I titi atu tangata. It's just this is how we feel, and this is how we've been feeling. Because I've been there for nearly 2 years.
I've just been there for maybe 1.5.
Yeah.
Oh, nah, not even that.
Term 2, Term 2
Term
last
3.
year.
Term 3 last year.
Oh, yeah. See,
yeah, and that. And me getting that role straight away was,
it was kind of big, eh?
Yeah, it was big.
Like,
how can someone be there for 2 terms and get that role?
But yeah, they honestly have the best deal I've ever come across.
Same. Yeah,
to be honest. Like, their kids speak reo rangatira. And by the time they had us, they're already pumping. But yeah, I just feel as though they have so much to offer, but e hara rātou e tiki te kai kei runga i a taupuri maunga. They are not grabbing their kai upon taupuri maunga. Which is no one's fault. Once again, it's your ambition. Kei a koe te mana mehe mea pirangi ana koe I taua kai.
But I reckon being there makes us feel grateful.
Yeah.
For our iwi.
Yeah.
And for our whānau that raised us.
Yeah, it does. Because after being a stranger to someone else's rohe, it goes to show like, oh man, this... and coming back and helping out other people's like, this is what home feels like.
Yeah.
But also being grateful for what they have, because we've never witnessed such a diverse mātauranga. We were never able to have these kind of things like,
and get to that taumata.
or we would never even think there was a taumata above what we were already learning.
We were already learning.
Yeah. So we are actually in Te Wānanga o Raukawa currently with Te Wharekura o Te Rau Aroha, still pursuing our hikinga mātauranga mo te reo Māori.
Yeah.
And that opens up so much doorways in itself. And next year, as we leave as Raukura, we are also e haere anau ki te ara o tēnei kaupapa, o te papahotanga. So to have a hikinga mātauranga degree and pursuing another degree next year, it goes to show that they were a big help throughout these past 2 years.
Hard out. Bigs ups to them, man.
Because
Kei runga noa.
yeah, so we'll go over to our producer, and I'd just like to ask, what was it like in your kura? Like, what did you feel?
Yeah.
Did you feel like it was home because all your cousins were there, or did you feel like it was a whole different environment because it wasn't? Were you in a Māori environment, or how did that work for you personally?
Yeah, growing up, it was never grew up around like kura or anything. I'd done a transfer to a kura up in Auckland for a week, and like coming from, like I went to a South Auckland school, Rosehill, where you had all these cultures. Like it was a massive melting pot.
Well,
Yeah.
I normally hung out with all the Samoan and Tongan kids because they ate the most, and they had the heartiest feeds. But it was weird. It was like every culture was secret. Like not the school didn't do it on purpose, but it was like Māoris hung out with Māoris, Tongans hung out with Tongans. It was like you had small groups that hung out with each other. But but then after I transferred back down to Hauraki Plains, it was HPC is main, but it's very Pākehā, like very rich, and like coming from where I came from, it was such a like culture shock. Like where I was used to seeing different races every day to me being one of the only Māori there, and like I'm very fair skinned, so you look at me and you know it's not the first thought. But after like a couple of years, I found that I did have some cousins there, but it was still super weird because everything that I do up in Auckland I couldn't do down here.
True.
Fair.
So it's like the way that you have to carry yourself in different schools. Like I wanted to go to kura, but like in Auckland it's not a big thing. And yeah, I just got into a bit of trouble and my nan told me to go to HPC. It was like the good school.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I think kura, the teachers have more of a like responsibility. Like they want to teach you more. I feel like at some colleges it's just a paycheck to teachers. But at kura it felt like they really actually wanted you to get forward, get ahead.
Kura.
But yeah, that's my whakaaro.
Even that, the diversity. I guess,
the
well,
groups.
in a wharekura sense, in our sense, it'd probably be the diversity of iwi tikanga. So, one shock was the mataora and tāmoko.
Yeah.
So we come from an iwi where if you ask your kaumātua and they said yes, then katai koe te mau mataora, katai koe te mau tāmoko. And it wasn't a thing that you usually see, but it was a thing that was allowed. And I looked at Auntie Chalice and Uncle Mike Timo. They are perfect examples.
Yeah, hard out.
So that was a bit of a culture shock, I guess, being in different iwi's territory, how they roll, all their motiatias, all their stories. And it kind of makes me yearn for our stories as hauraki, because we're always immersed in hauraki, but to go learn other people's stories, it didn't sit with me right. It's not that I didn't want to learn it. It was interesting, and I still hold on to them.
Yeah, I love that history type of thing.
It was just the like, what was it? It was once again out of place, I guess, because it wasn't your tupuna. Yeah,
but I guess it's good learning about the different what's been going on with it, all of the other tupuna.
Yeah, absolutely. Because they're under the tumuaki-tanga, which I would never have known about the tumuaki unless I went to that kura.
Yeah, hard.
So it's challenging in a way being a kura. But yeah. And then you look at the exero kura like Whātia, Matua, Hoera, Whāpuawai, Matua Keirapa.
They're far, man. They're all trying for these kids.
Yeah.
and I can see it, and I'm trying to find a way to help them, but I can't do much because I'm.
I don't think the kids are doing it on purpose either. I think they just don't understand.
Or they're misguided.
Yeah. Or, yeah.
I gotta ask, going to another kura that you're not familiar with, was it like intimidating?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think
How
knowing who you are, you feel less intimidated because if you know who you are, then
I support that.
Yeah, if you know who you are and where you come from, it would not be a challenge at all. Like you will find and navigate your own way because you know that you have a whole iwi backing you without a doubt. And I guess that goes with the support system as well. Our support system was always our nannies.
Yeah, and our
calls.
aunties.
They always wanted us to strive for the betterment of the iwi, but also ourselves in the future.
Yeah.
But I guess, in some senses it was intimidating, but in other senses, knowing who you are, it kind of helps you to navigate those spaces, even Pākehā spaces, because those are the unknown.
Yeah.
But if we need a lot of more Māori to be in Pākehā spaces as well.
Yeah, just to experience what the world's like.
So they can come back and teach us.
Yeah.
It's that.
With something better.
Ia taua whakataiki ko te manu e kai ana te miro no nā te ngahere, ko te manu e kai ana te mātauranga no nā no te ao. So going back to that, but going back to the teachers, teachers, oh my gosh, shout out to you teachers.
Shout out to you.
The teachers that care.
All the mana.
The teachers that care. It's the teachers that care that give the best results. Mōkuake.
They count.
If they really, really care about you, they will try and try and try again. But if they give up on you, there's only two of one reasons. One is because you're spoiled. Or two is because they didn't want to try in the first place. And I've experienced teachers like that.
Same.
We've probably all experienced teachers that just wanted to go paycheck to paycheck and didn't really care. Or maybe they did care at a point, once upon a time, but they lost their love.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like
sad.
Because I want to become a kaiako, and I look at our kaiako and they are what I strive to be honest. Like, they are so giving, they're so caring. They would take the clothes off their back before they would even think twice about doing it. And maybe for the kids, it's not so much that they're not spoiled, but maybe they just don't understand how good they have it until it's gone. Yeah. It's like it's like don't bite the hand that feeds you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to see that because we've never experienced such a whiakotanga.
Yeah.
But
we haven't experienced that.
They've experienced it so much to the point where it's boring.
And
they it's boring, you know?
Yeah, they just want something new.
Maybe they just need to go see the outside world. But that's my whakaaro. Everyone else has their own whakaaro. But it's more so just don't bite the hand that feeds you, because at the end of the day, that hand that's feeding you will still keep feeding you because they love you and that's your family.
Going.
Yeah. So, yeah, kura is actually quite a big role also in us as rangatahi, because this actually dictates to, actually, hold on, let me go back. Kura is not for everyone, e te iwi.
Kura is not for everyone.
Is not for everyone. Like, I look at my hoama that were in primary and now they don't go to college, but they're still doing them.
Yeah, they're still doing what they're doing.
Yeah, it's hard, but the reality is, unfortunately, kura is
there's
not for everyone.
no other way.
Yeah, if you don't like kura, don't force yourself to go. That is honestly the worst decision. If you don't love it, then why go? You know what I mean? Same with mahi.
Yeah,
but I won't speak on that. I will not speak on that because all of my whānau don't like mahi. But it is. But then again, you think about some sacrifices. Yeah, it's sacrifices that you have to make, and koe rā no iho, like mōkuake. Yeah, it's school's not for everyone. Maybe a course is for you. Maybe just grabbing a job or a apprenticeship is for you. You find your love and passion. You find your love and passion, and you build on that. You don't build on the dreams and hopes and the aspirations of other people, because that will be your poison, and they will definitely take you on a path of sadness. But honestly, whānau, I love kura. To be honest, we were talking about this.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh my god.
We crack up.
So Tere Moana was talking about how she just doesn't want to stop studying. And then we were thinking about it, I was like, what if people ask?
What if we just get our doctorates because we're bored?
Like when you think about it, that's not really a good answer.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
not like fuck.
wow, so life changing. I was like, imagine if like the news hub came up, she was like, why did you get your doctorate? Is it for a better cause? Is it for your people? And you just go up to them and was like, oh.
I was just bored.
Like, Eti, I think we'll get those.
They must think, wow, you really have a sad life.
Or I don't know. It's just like, I don't want to stop learning.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It's cool to learn stuff.
It actually is. If that's your cup of tea.
Yeah, if
Yeah, it may
you
not
like
be.
to be surprised by things, like, oh, did that happen? Oh, why did that happen?
It was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I can do this and this. Yeah, but honestly, it's like, why did you get your doctorate? Because I was bored.
I had
I was
nothing else
like,
to do.
News Hub will probably just go, oh, nah, never mind.
What a dumb interview.
Yeah. I'll say, it's just like, bro.
But good on you, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, do you. Slay, hey.
Yeah, slay. Oh, fuck.
Far out. But yeah, because I guess, yeah, Mātauranga is probably the biggest weapon to your disposal.
Yeah.
Because knowledge is power. And it may sound corny because you probably have already heard it from your teachers, but in a sense where if you know something that someone else doesn't know and they need to acquire that, oh man, like say I knew Te Reo Māori and I was a teacher, and Auraki systems, they needed a Reo Māori teacher for a certain reason,
Yeah.
They will pay big bucks. You know, you will pay big bucks for something that you can't acquire.
Yeah.
Same with building. I'd pay a builder to build my dream house perfectly the way I wanted it.
Yeah, hard.
It's like contracting yourself, I guess.
Especially if it's your money.
Oh yeah.
Hard.
Heck
Use
yeah.
it all up.
Yeah, and when you think about it, it's like if you don't have it, then of course you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
It's a human trait, I guess, and it's normal. But that's why I think knowledge is power in that sense. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What's our next kaupapa?
He take taku. He take taku. I don't even know. Hold on.
But yeah, because I guess as a teenager, there's a lot of expectations of you going into the world and having to navigate it after, not being an adult anymore. And it's hard. It's really hard,
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, the next one's Real and Raw.
Oh, yeah. Real and raw.
Real and Raw about kura, which I think we've already been doing.
Yeah, I think we've covered that.
Yeah.
Like how we feel about it.
Low key, but because school is honestly, it can either be good or bad, but it's depending on your thoughts and your mindset about it.
Yeah.
Like if you think, oh, I have to wake up for school, then obviously you're gonna have a dumb day.
Yeah. So
But if it's like, oh, I'm
good
waking up for
thoughts.
school,
yeah.
like it's gonna be a good day, and you always rapu I ngā whakaro pai. Like this wasn't good today. This wasn't good because this was dumb. Just that one thing, but you had a mean-ass day throughout the whole day, and you're having a stink because you had one bad thing happen to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If
My
you think
mum
on the
said
bright
that
side.
whānau, she said, if you think it's gonna be a dumb day, then you're gonna have a dumb day.
Kia ora. That's mentality as well.
Yeah.
It's their mentality. It's a mental game at TV.
Yeah.
And people and I think another thing is about rangatahi is like parents kind of dismiss it.
Yeah.
Dismiss like, oh, I have to go to work and blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
Hard.
I was like, I have to do a 7-hour
love it.
shift. I was like,
I just
what?
love it.
I just did a 7-hour shift at school, cuz. Fuck, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I have to go to school because this was like, yeah, but I had to go to school too. And I was like, what are you complaining about?
Yeah. We're doing
Like,
the
it's
same
that
hours.
whakaaro as well. It's like, you don't do mahi.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do mahi, so why should I feel sorry for you? You don't pay bills. I was like, yeah, but I have to go to school in order for me to get an education, or in order for me to get a ticket.
Yeah,
in
like
order for
we're
me to
still
get a
growing.
paper.
We're
Yeah,
growing.
Kira.
We'll get there far.
And you expect us to go to a 7-hour
retire.
school? Like, you're kidding me. And some people have to travel really far. So they have to wake up
We
early.
do.
Yeah. They have to wake up early and get ready. And they may have siblings, so they have to get them ready
Get
as
them
well.
ready,
And then they have
yeah.
to get on the bus, which might be an hour or 30 minutes away, and having to have a demeanor about them saying that they're ready for school, they are dressed properly, they are all good, and be ready for a whole 7 hours.
Yeah.
Like,
Fuck
it sounds
that.
like a job to me, to be honest. It's just a different whakaaro once again.
Yeah.
You're there to learn. But even that, going to school. School's not for everyone because school is there for learning. And sometimes you have the bookworms, you have the innovative thinkers, and then you have the practical guys, the foot
Yeah.
soldiers, they just want to get the mahi over and done with. So it's kind of catering to those as well, which could be hard, don't get me wrong, but there has to be more ways. Has to
Hard
be.
out.
And that's
Gotta be
what
way more.
knowledge is, once again, knowledge is power. You know what I mean?
Tika. No.
And then you,
Spot
if you
it.
want to get more, like, even talking about a doctorate, like, if you want to get
Yeah.
to that level, you have to do certain years of studying. See?
It's a lot of time
Just
and
to get a paper.
dedication. Yeah.
Just to get a paper that says you got the qualifications for this, this, and this. Whereas you got an apprenticeship,
Yeah.
at least you can do 3 years of that, and then you can say, yeah, I'm an apprentice now, I can do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
These are my capabilities.
Even money goes towards that stuff.
Even money. Bro, money.
Where money is an issue.
Money, he take taku with the money.
He take taku.
It's
Far
like, I
deeply
want to,
too.
like, I need to get me a job in order for me to get money, and then I get taxed by the government.
Yeah.
Upoko kohua to use.
Kaya
And
te
then,
kuri.
yeah, kia. And then after they take my tax, they expect me to go off whatever is left. What if I have $100? Cause I still got a bill to pay,
I got food to bloody feed me.
and plus the extra stuff that I want for me. Fuck, it's like you're pushing it. You're pushing it. You're telling me I have to pay
Tēnei
bills.
tangata.
I have to do water bill, and if I have a Wi-Fi, I have to get a Wi-Fi bill, and that Wi-Fi goes towards my mātauranga, so I have to
You
add
know
on to
what?
that.
Welcome
Student
to
debt.
the adulthood, bro.
Yeah, killer. You
Gas
adults.
to get to mahi.
Oh,
Pay for gas to get to mahi.
Oh, whānau.
Oh,
National, what
It's
is
a
up, bro?
never-ending
Raising
loop.
them prices.
Yeah.
So pay for gas to get to work so you can get paid.
you know what, whānau? I think we're in the Matrix. Eh? I think that's what it is. We're in the Matrix because, honestly, hats off to you teenagers that are doing adulthood life,
Yeah.
and hats off to you adults. Like, we don't say it much because sometimes we don't care. Cause,
Yeah, and ge hoha.
yeah, because, you know, you're our parents and your aunties and uncles.
It's like,
Yeah, but honestly, it must be hard.
yeah.
This, don't even get me wrong. Like, far out. It's just so crazy.
Yeah.
And if you don't got a good paying job, oh my goodness, you're over. But it's a job that you love. You have to
Yeah.
make sacrifices again.
Yeah, it has to be.
Like when I got offered the job here,
Mm-hmm.
I just got the job at Fonterra where the pay is like
Yeah.
Like-
So what was your thoughts behind your job? Was it a dream job?
So for years, when I was in college, I wanted to be a chef, like more than anything. And I got accepted into this really like prestigious school in Wellington.
Wow.
And I was so excited. And then COVID hit. And then when I realized that the school I wanted to go to was not made for people like us, like the dorms were booked out for like 3 years.
Wow.
And they wanted, it was like 45 hours a week learning. So you didn't have time for a part-time job. So that's when I realized everyone that goes to that school comes from a very like wealthy family.
Oh.
And then my mom sat down because she was a chef for like 30 odd years. And she said, with cooking, you got to love it. Because she goes, the pay's horrible. The hours are worse. Like she used to work 16-hour days.
Wow.
It's just hard. Like you really got to love it.
Holy hell.
And then I found Te Korowa, and then I found my love for youth work and working with Rangatahi. And then from then I met Johnson, I met Devon, and then I found my love for, because I've always been a talker.
Yeah. Kia
Even in high school, I kind of just hustled my way through the grades. I never really had a niche of what I liked. But then when I got the job at Fonterra, I was I was happy because the money was amazing.
Right.
But then I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy the work, so I don't know if it'll be good for like my wider or whatever.
Yeah, hard.
Oh.
And then I was at home, I was like filling out all the paperwork. And then Johnson texted me, I was like, oh. And as soon as I saw that like message, I got really happy again.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, it took me a couple days because I knew the pay wouldn't be as good. But then I was like, I talked to a couple friends and I talked to it was my auntie that told me, if you love your job, you'll never work a day in your life. And I really stuck, because she said, if you love it that much, then you'll never see it as mahi. You'll just see it as doing something you like and you get paid for it.
Yeah, killer. I agree with that because my mum and dad go to me was like, you don't do a job. And I was like, oh, because you have to go to a 9 to 5.
See and talk.
Yeah. Well, that's what they see. But that's mahi to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they've never
It's
seen
that generation.
That generation, all they seen was money, money. Whereas myself and what Jack was actually adding on to, it's creating your own lifestyle that supports you.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to go to a 9 to 5 job. Do I look like I'm ready for a 9 to 5 job? You know what I mean? Like
we do 9 to 5 at the North, and it's
kiddo, I do 9 to 5 buffets. Like you're pushing it. Like that's what I mean. They wouldn't understand because that's all they knew. So seeing this, it was like that's not a job. Well, to their whakaaro, it's not a job. However, this will be paying the bills because I won't even be. It's not a job. Like basically, you're right, kiddo. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle.
We're getting paid to come to work and talk.
Yeah, we're getting paid to do what we love. So obviously, it's not a job.
Yeah.
Same with kaiakos. They like you would have to probably love their job a lot.
Yeah, like a lot.
Because I've listened to some kaiakos said it's worth it, but not in the ways that you're thinking. Like it's worth it seeing your kid achieve what they said they wanted to achieve. Yeah, and it's heartbreaking to see those kids that you knew had so much talent were unable to achieve their goals because other teachers were unable to exceed the expectations of the tauira. So it's all those, the 9 to 5 generation, you know, that generation is above us. Like I look at my mum and dad, don't get me wrong, they're hardworking.
Oh, yeah.
My uncles.
You got to give it to them. They're providers.
Absolutely. But this generation here are more innovative. Like they can be entrepreneurs because they have the internet to their thing. Like you can, it's honestly so cool. Yeah. Like right now, I love my job. I love it.
I can't wait till you probably start next year.
Yeah, well, that's the plan. I got a lot to do. So this is not a 9 to 5 job at Tiwi. It's a job that I love, so it's a lifestyle. Yeah. It's changing that job whakaaro into a lifestyle. I don't want to do a 9 to 5 job. I don't want it for the money. I want it because I want to do it. And that's what I'm getting from Jack. And I guess if we can do it, then why not do it? Polish your skills. Like, why do you want to go do this?
Just open that kuahai.
And I think for us as teenagers, it's this moment in time where we're like, what do you want to do for a job? Or what do you want to do after school? And it's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah. That's when you have to start thinking.
Yeah, especially at this age.
It's hard because we were thinking at year 8.
Yeah.
Like that's how freaked out. We were thinking about our life at year 8.
I was thinking about lunch.
Yeah. And that. No.
I went to school to eat my lunch.
That's what my uncle always says. And I believe him too. Well, love him, but I believe you, uncle. But it's hard because maybe they've never seen someone so driven. It's hard because it's like you have to find role models, eh?
It's like my old man. Like I watched him for like all my life. Like he'd get up at 5 o'clock every morning.
Wow.
Come back at 6, and he'd just work Monday to Saturday. And like even when I talked to him, he was just happy to do it. Like I think it's like that instilled into them that makes them happy. That they go to work and that they feel fulfilled
after
like,
getting a money's paycheck. Eh?
Yeah, because I talked to him. I was like, aren't you good? Because the old man's cracking on 70 soon.
Wow.
Yeah, and I would always talk to him about retiring, and he goes, his whole whakaaro is when you retire, you have nothing to do, and when you have nothing to do, you die. Ooh. So he sees it as like something that drives him to keep going.
Yeah.
And it keeps him busy. And because he genuinely loves his job.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's like cool. Even though he's like a panel beat, but he loves it. But he sees it as like you retire, you do everything you want in like the first 3 years, you got nothing to do, and when you got nothing to do, you die. So it's like
Fair enough.
That's a cool, like, whakaro.
Yeah.
I like that.
And I look at like some of our cousins, some of our cousins, they're getting into the trades, construction, and they're loving their job, and they love the paycheck as well.
They love that paycheck.
I look at some of my other mates, they just go paycheck to paycheck. They just want the money. The money's good, but they don't like it. You know what I mean? Like if they could skip work, they would.
Yeah, they would.
Whereas with this mahi, mate, if rain, hail, or sunshine, I'll be here.
Yep.
When I'm sick,
True.
I'll be here.
Yep.
I'd give everyone COVID before I leave. Because you're pushing it. Like, that's the type of mentality you'd have to have, especially for a job, to get you money.
Yeah.
But it's hard.
I think our generation are more into careers as well.
Yeah.
I always remember my mum telling me, a job is a job, but a career is what you make it.
Yeah.
And a career will take you anywhere.
Yeah.
Like when I was at the Meatworks, I remember one of the old guys telling me to like leave. He said, because the Meatworks is mean, but as soon as this place shuts down, you're left with nothing. Like, he said, get a career. Because a career you can go any. Like here, if we get a career in media, we can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can see old Devon on TV in like 5 years.
See, that's a corridor in itself as well. Like,
that's how I look at this job. Like
Yeah.
the pay might not be good at the moment.
but it will.
But it could get better.
Exactly.
Yeah. But it's not a top priority. You
Nah.
know what I mean?
Just going with the
Because you
flow.
know that there will be more than just money that comes with this job.
Money's like the cherry on top.
Yeah.
Because I think even nowadays for jobs, it's not even what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even this
Johnson.
job,
Yeah.
shout out to Johnson.
Yeah, shout out.
But because this job, this takes you around the motu, and you meet the most innovative thinkers. I went over to, I've met the people in Tainui, like the likes of Kamaya, who's actually from here. Shout out to Kamaya Roko Vibes. And she's currently at the Rokoa Vibes.
Yeah.
And she's not just a kai papaho, but she's also a kai haka
Yeah.
for and she used to stand for Ngā Puna Waiora, who are the biggest kapa and the kapa scenes for secondaries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not just that. It's just not just the money, but it's people who you know. And who you know will take you a long way as well.
Yeah.
Like I look at Reno. I look at Reno and the people that he's come to know throughout his years of mahi is honestly out of this world.
Yeah.
Like last week he tried getting me. Yeah. He's like the ko-matua of radio station. Iwi radio station. He's been here for a while.
When we were younger, we used to come to the radio station.
And he was still here.
Yeah, he was still here.
I used to come to the birthdays just to get a free sausage from him. Like he's been here. And
He's
like,
the goat.
Yeah.
and I see him happy. Like he's happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's happy.
He looks absolutely happy. And I'm happy. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
That is a perfect tauira of what I want. But I guess you just have to keep going through different jobs.
Yeah.
Because I used to work for this recycling centre, and this I hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't like doing this bloody picking up rubbish and sorting out the rubbish and you know having to stay there for like 7 hours just to give me good money. I was like, this is boring. And then the way I got into this was actually through Manu Kōrero.
Oh, actually.
Yeah, and I recently started. I started at OFM originally, and my old boss, my uncle, his name's Uncle Manahi. He was my tutor for Manu Kōrero speech competitions, and we were getting ready for speech competitions. And then what had happened was I had to go on air with him. It was like, oh yeah, I just got to quickly go on air. Do you want to come on? I was like, oh okay. If it speeds the process, I guess so. And then he goes, oh, can you do this? It was like, oh yeah, and we're going to talk about this. Like, okay. And then after that, he was like, hey, how would you like to do your job? I was like, okay. And then the person I was living with, my auntie at the time, she said, you either get the OFM, which you don't get no pay, or you can do the recycling centre, which you do get pay. And bro, just like that, I was like, give me OFM. I love that job. I love it.
Yep.
And I've had a heart for it at all. And it's taken me a lot of places. It's taken me to Matatini. Never thought I'd be to Matatini, bro.
Eating crayfish upstairs.
Oh, canoe piles.
We're
These
downstairs
guys
and they
are
come
lucky, yeah?
downstairs.
And I was meeting my haka
One
idols.
Māori, bro.
I was meeting my haka idols and I was so happy. I was like content. Koronehana, I never thought I'd go to a king's coronation, but it's honestly the bomb. And the people and the wānanga that you do after the events are amazing. Even going to different places. The wānanga, everything. It's cool.
This guy, eh?
Yeah.
I already know.
He came downstairs and he's like, what are you up to? Just gone downstairs and he goes, I'm upstairs. Crayfish.
Yeah, even ngā wai tāpara, I've started to love that job.
Yeah.
So
I think that job's taught us to respect teachers a bit more. Eh? 'Cause
Yeah.
I love the rangatahi. Love you. Shout out.
But and it's like, you get me at the best of times, my bro. I love you to an extent sometimes,
Yeah.
but nah,
Sad that
definitely.
we're not doing,
Yeah.
holidays.
And it's it's honestly that's a big kaupapa.
Fair enough. I tika.
So what's our last kaupapa?
That's it.
Is it? Alright, te iwi. Ka tau tātou i ngā kōrero I kōrā.
Ai.
Should we do a karakira to
Ai.
whaka? Okay. Me no I tātou. Hikitia, 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 torogo mai whiti o tēnei wānanga o tēnei huihuinga, tukua kia ia, tukua kia oi. Ko tā rangi e tū nei, ko te papa e takoto nei. Turuturu ai runga, turuturu ai raro, tūturu whiti whaka maua kia tīna, tīna, haumi e hui e, tai ki e. Mauri ora.
Mauri ora whānau.